Hello everyone, it's Trinisha Johnson from the St. Mary Parish Library. I'm going to teach you guys how to make mythical creatures in a jar. I have an example here. This is the dragon we did. So we're going to make those. You can use them as night lights or cute decoration to add a little flair to your bedroom. What you're going to receive in your kits are a mason jar, shells, twine, rocks, a tea light. You're going to get a little cute bundle of moths, which is really messy. You're also going to receive 2 silhouettes in your kit. You'll have a mermaid or a dragon for your choosing. And you're going to receive 2 sheets of tissue paper. It's going to be pre-cut for you to use. And you're going to need Elmer's glue. What you won't have in your kits that you will need is a paintbrush, or you can use a sponge, your finger, whatever you find. You're going to need glitter. I think the fine iridescent glitters are best, but you can use any one you like. And you're going to need to go outside and find some cool stuff if you want to add more to your jar. I went out and I got some leaves from the tree outside. I also picked different rocks and different shells as well. You're also going to need scissors. You're also going to need a hair dryer. Please ask your parents' permission because you will be drying glass and it can get pretty hot. So please ask your parents' permission or for help with that as well. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the lid off of your mason jar. But before we get started, I'm going to teach you guys how to make Mod Podge. So what you're going to need is Elmer's glue and some water. I'm going to squeeze about a teaspoon in something, anything you find, paper plate. Okay, you're going to dip your fingers in the water and you're going to place a little bit inside of the glue mixture. Now, you don't want to put too much because if you do, your mixture is going to be too thin. You got to mix it up. Okay. Now again, you don't want it to be too thin because if so, it's going to rip the paper that we're going to be placing on the jars. And I'm going to show you the texture. We're going to add just a little bit more. That should be good. Mix it up really well. Okay. Now this is what your final texture should be. It should be pretty drippy but not too drippy. Okay. We're going to grab our jars, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose which silhouette we want. I'm going to go with the mermaid since I already have an example of the dragon, and I'm going to paint the back of it with my paintbrush and glue mixture. Now, all of your jars are going to come with the design on it. What you want to do is use the opposite side of that design. Now I'm going to place my mermaid in there, flop her in, and I'm going to use something to press it down like the end of my paintbrush. That way you make sure it's really secure in there. And it should look like that. Don't worry, the glue will dry clear, so don't worry about that. Now, on to the next part. We're going to take our 2 pieces of tissue paper and we're going to wrap this around the jar. I'm only giving you 2 because if you wrap too much around it, you won't see the lantern actually shine through. So, I'm going to paint thin layers around my entire jar. I'm going to make sure it gets to the bottom and cover the bottom as well. Keep in mind that a little bit does go a long way. You're not going to need too much because, one, it'll take forever to dry. And if you use too much, you risk ripping your tissue paper. And make sure it's thin and even. Okay. Now I'm going to start with my first sheet of paper and I'm going to line it up. I like to line it up on the back edge where the design is at. Not the silhouette, but the actual jar design. I'm going to place that on and smooth it with my finger like that to make sure it's secure. And we're going to lift and paint as we go. Now we're going to paint over it like that, real thin layers. And if you notice, I did rip it, but that's great because this is a great example to show you guys how to fix that rip. So I'm going to continue smoothing over my glue mixture over my design. And you're going to want to gently smooth it because if you're really rough with it, it will rip your paper as well. And you just rotate your jar with your fingers, lift and glue down as you go. Now, this is where my hole is. I'm going to show you how we're going to easily fix that. Whoop! We rip it, we place it, and we keep rolling. Okay. Keep rotating, keep placing thin layers down. Lift as you go to get rid of the wrinkles. And it's okay if it has wrinkles because I think it adds a little bit of charm to your jar. Okay, at the last little piece, gently smooth it down over the bottom. Alright, make sure you got it all pressed down good. And we're going to go with our second piece of tissue paper. Going to place it on. And remember, we smooth it down on the edges so you can start. Okay. And continue brushing and painting it over it. Rotating as you go. Alright guys, we got it all smoothed down really well. Now, you might have a little bit at the top edge. That's okay because you can easily use your brush to fold that down as well. And your jar is going to actually cover it, so that'll be okay. Your lid's going to cover it. Alright. When you're done, you don't want to set it straight down. You want to turn it upside down and let it dry. Now that's where your handy dandy hair dryer comes in, or you can just wait 15 to 20 minutes for it to dry. I have a backup here already ready for us to get started. Let's move all this out of our way. And now comes the fun part. First thing you do is you're going to put your light in your jar. I turn mine on right now because I don't want to risk ruining my design right when I'm done to put it in there. So I'm going to put that in there and replace my lid. We're going to start with the twine. This is also pre-cutting your bag. It's a little long so that you can wrap it a few times and make a bow. I'm going to hold my finger here and leave a little bit extra, that's about 3 inches, to tie my bow, and I'm going to wrap it around the lid. Be careful because it could go underneath your lid, and that's going to unravel when you open your jar. So just try to make sure it stays on the lid. Turn it and see. Give yourself some good coverage, and it's about even as that with that, just about. So that's where I'm going to tie my bow. Directly over my silhouette. I'm going to place a little bit of hot glue here just to secure it so that it won't come undone. A tiny bit. Okay, and I'm going to take off this excess here, even it out with the other side. Alright, there we have our bow. Now the really fun part comes is where we throw all these decorations on. Okay, what you're going to do is, first thing, you're going to decide what colored glitter you want to use. I'm going to use a mixture of this clear iridescent one, and I'm going to use this blue. And being that we're doing a mermaid, I kind of want an underwater scene going. So we're going to use that. And if you're using a dragon, you can use gold glitter, red glitter, or orange glitter to kind of go with the theme of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint where I want my glitter to go. And I'm going to use very thin layers as well. So I'm going to do like kind of like a, I'm going to assume this is my water here. I'm going to go around her. And I'm going to put some up top underneath the lid. Just a little bit. Now, keep in mind that if you put too much glitter, you also risk the chance of your jar not having enough light showing through. You'd be surprised how much glitter would actually keep it from showing. So we put a little bit there, and I'm going to start with the blue glitter first. Okay, and I'm just going to gently put this here in the same spots that I actually put my glue. Now, I only want that at the bottom. Sorry, Mom, you're going to find this glitter everywhere. And I'm going to put the clear one up top. Oh, look how pretty. Yes. Let me put just a drop here, because that hole is going to bother me. Okay. Get the glue back. Okay. Now, let's get started gluing everything on. I'm going to start with the moss. Now, be very careful when using hot glue with this. If you don't have hot glue, Elmer's glue would work just fine. So go ahead and put that in the center and place that on the top. And I'm going to cut all this wild stuff off. Okay. It's looking pretty already. And let's start gluing our optional embellishments on. Like I said, your kit's gonna come with shells, rocks. I went outside and I got some leaves off the tree, and I got some different rocks from out of my mom's vase, those cool ones. Okay, I'm gonna glue the shell on because it's really pretty, and I'm gonna place that there. Put a little more. They call me the hot glue queen around here. Okay. Keep in mind that when you're decorating, you don't want to put too much embellishments around the lid because you still have to open it. And I wouldn't want your stuff falling off whenever you open it. You can go as big as you want with this part here. You can make it as glamorous as you like. You can also glue shells on your drawer like this. You could do shells, rocks, whatever you like. I'm going to put a few of those at the bottom. And I'm going to put some of these cool rocks I found underneath the tree out. And I guess I could use this really big one because, hey, it looks cool. Just drop that thing on now. Do a few more shells. Those look really cool. Let's get this tiny one, and I'm gonna put him there. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna take this last one because I really have no stop here. I'm gonna force myself to stop gluing stuff on, and I'm gonna use this one because the color is really pretty, and I'm gonna put that. I'll stick it there. Just because. Alright guys, there you have it. you have your very own mythical creature in a jar. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Did you hear? St. Mary Parish Library System now has a teen book club that meets virtually. For our first meeting, which is scheduled on June 15th, we're going to be reading A Touch of Gold by Annie Sullivan. This book is about King Midas's daughter. We all know his story, where everything he touches turns to gold. Well, he accidentally hugs his daughter and almost kills her, so he decides to relinquish the power forever. He goes to the guy who cursed him and he tells him, hey, I want to go ahead and give up my power. So he tells him very specific instructions for doing so. He tells him to go down to the river and wash every item that you've turned into gold. Well, King Midas gets so excited and he goes to wash his daughter first. Well, he totally forgets about everything else once she turns back into human. The gold power took on a life of its own and it turned his daughter into Princess Midas. Her name is Cora, and the story goes on to see how she deals with the curse of turning everything into gold. She meets a handsome duke and they go on a journey to save her father, who is dying because someone stole the gold. So without giving away too much, I'm going to stop there, and I want you guys to join us next week on the Zoom meeting. To sign up for our book club, all you have to do is call your local branch and leave your information, and I will email you a link before the meeting starts. I hope to see you guys all there. Thank you.